So you have been to the conferences, shaken the hands, collected a mountain of business cards, and your LinkedIn requests are always accepted. But when you actually need something, maybe a real advice, an intro, a genuine opportunity, it's just crickets. If you're tired of having a network that is a mile wide but an inch deep, and you have that nagging feeling that your efforts are not going anywhere, it's because they are really not going anywhere. That stack of contacts feels like a win, but it's just a vanity metric. It's the illusion of a safety net, but when you actually fall, you go right through it. Let's be real. The word networking is just awkward. For most of us, it conjures up images of forced conversation, a plastered on smile, and trying to sell ourselves to strangers in a loud room. Most networking advice actually sets up to fail because it's built on a total misunderstanding of how human relationships work. So, today we are going to tear down the three biggest networking mistakes that are quietly sabotaging your career. And more importantly, I will show you the counterintuitive approach that builds the kind of genuine, powerful relationships that open real doors. We are going to shift from collecting contacts to actually connecting with people. By the end of this, you won't just have a new strategy, you will have a new mindset that makes the whole thing feel authentic and, believe it or not, even enjoyable. The first and most common mistake is what I term the collector's fallacy. This is the belief that whosoever has the maximum number of contacts wins. You operate like a Pokemon trainer for professionals. God catch them all. Every business card, every LinkedIn connection, every email address. Your main goal is hitting that 500 plus milestone on LinkedIn. But here's the tough truth: 1,000 contacts that don't really know your worth are less than 5 people who genuinely have your back. 85% of all the jobs are filled through networking. But that number is totally misleading if you think it's just about having a huge list of names. Real opportunities, promotions, and life changing introductions don't come from random connections. They come from people who know you, trust you, and are willing to put their own reputation on the line for you. The problem is how hollow it all feels. You have built a database, not a network. You have a list of names, but when your dream company posts a job and you see a connection there, sending a message feels impossibly awkward. You know you can't ask for a referral because you have not spoken to that person in 3 years, and your last interaction was a one click happy birthday message. It's a network that looks impressive but has no real substance. So the fix is stop being a collector and start being a giver. Adopt the generosity first principle. This is the shift that changes everything. Your goal in any interaction should not be what can I get, but what can I give. When you meet someone, don't think about how they can help you, think how you might be able to help them. This is not about being a doormat, it's about being smart. Leading with generosity instantly turns a transaction into a relationship. So, what does this look like? Giving does not have to be something huge. It can be small, sincere. Did someone mention that they are struggling with productivity? Send them a link to a podcast episode that you found helpful on that topic. Did they say that they are hiring for a role? To introduce them to someone that you know. You can offer an idea, a resource, feedback, or simply your full undivided attention in a conversation. Here's a quick story. I once met a startup founder at a very small meetup. She was brilliant and mentioned that her company's website was not getting much traffic. My background is not in, but I had just read a fantastic book on content marketing. The next day, I sent her a small and short email, mentioned about chat, and recommended the book. No agenda. 2 months later, she emailed me out of the blue. Her traffic had doubled, and she just wanted to thank me. A year after that, she introduced me to an executive at a major company in my field, an intro that led to one of the biggest consulting projects in my career. I never asked for it. It was the relation, or it was just a natural result of a relationship that started with one simple, no strings attached act of giving. The second mistake is premature ask. This is the networking version of proposing on the first date. It's when you meet someone and in the very first conversation or follow up, you are already asking for something big, a job referral, an intro to their famous boss, a detailed review of your portfolio. It shows you don't see them as a person, you see them as a stepping stone. This approach screams transactional and kills any shot of a real connection. Put yourself in their shoes. They don't know you, they don't trust you, and they have no idea if you are even good at what you do. Asking them to vouch for you is a huge risk for them. Healthy relationships need time and mutual investment. Rushing it almost going to backfire and makes you look desperate. So, the solution to master is the follow up and nurture technique. Strong relationships aren't built in one meeting, they are cultivated over a period of time. The real work starts after you meet. So, here's your new rule: the first follow up never contains a big ask. The only goal of that first message is to reinforce the connection and show you were paying attention. And you have to do it within the first 24 to 48 hours while you are still fresh in their minds. Here's a simple, non needy template. Send an email or a LinkedIn message with a very clear subject like great to chat at, mention the event, and then follow it up like this: Hi, mention their name. It was great meeting you at that event, mention the event yesterday. I really enjoyed our conversation about, mention the specific topic that you discussed. That story that you shared about, mention something very specific from that conversation, was hilarious. Here's the link to that article or resource I mentioned. Hope our paths cross again soon. Best, mention your name. That's it. It's short, personal, and it adds value. You have reminded them who you are, proved you listened, and given them something with zero expectations. You are planting a seed. From there, it's about nurturing the connection. This means staying on their radar in a light but positive way. Congratulate them on a work anniversary on LinkedIn. If you see an article you genuinely think they would like, forward it with a quick note. The goal is to build trust over time so that if you ever do have an ask, it's coming from a warm relationship, not a cold one. Patience is the key. The third, and maybe the most ironic mistake, is chasing after strangers while ignoring the powerful allies you already have. We get so obsessed with meeting new people that we neglect our dormant network, our former colleagues, old classmates, and past clients. These are the people who you already share a history with. and a baseline of trust, reconnecting with them is so much easier and more effective than starting from scratch. It's a massive missed opportunity. You are trying to climb a steep, slippery hill to win over strangers. These dormant connections are often your strongest potential advocates because they already know your work ethic, your character. In fact, studies have shown that up to 70% of the people hired at a company already had a connection there. Often, these are reactivated relationships, not brand new ones. We let these gold mines fade away. The solution is to recreate a re engagement ritual. This is a simple, repeatable habit for checking with people you already know. Stop thinking of networking as something you only do when you need a job. See it as tending your garden. A re engagement ritual can be as simple as spending 30 minutes every Friday to reach out to three people from your past. You're not asking for anything, you're just seeing how they are. Your message can be super simple and genuine. Like, hey, mention their name. It has been a while. I was just thinking about that project class that we worked on, and it made me wonder, how are you doing? Looks like you are at, mention the company that they are at now. That's awesome. What have you been up to? Hope you are doing great. Best, mention your name. This kind of message is so powerful because it's warm and pressure free. It reopens the door without any awkwardness. You'll be shocked by the warm responses you get. A friend of mine felt stuck in her job. Instead of just rage applying online, she spent a month reconnecting with five former colleagues she was working with. One of them, now a director at another company, wrote back immediately to her. He said her timing was perfect. His team was creating a new role that wasn't even public yet. Because he knew her and trusted her work, he fast tracked her through the interview process. She got the job. That opportunity would have been completely invisible to her if she had only focused on strangers. Your existing network is a gold mine. Start digging. Now you have the three big shifts from collecting to giving, from asking to nurturing, and from chasing strangers to reconnecting with old friends. This is about building a network that's not only powerful but also feels right. The key is to stop thinking transactionally and start thinking relationally. To help you with the hardest part, just starting the conversation, I have put together a free guide called 5 Conversation Starters for Genuine Connections. It has a word to word scripts you can use to move past the small talk at your next event or in your next email. You can grab it for free at the link in the description. Let's recap the mistakes to avoid. Stop the collector's fallacy and start leading with generosity. Second, stop the premature ask and master the art of follow up and nurture. And third, stop ignoring your dormant network and start a re engagement ritual. Networking is not about being fake, it's about being human. It's about building real relationships based on trust and respect. So, here's my challenge to you. This week, find just that one person you can help. Send an article, make an introduction, or just send a note of appreciation. Don't ask for anything. Start planting those relational seeds today, and I promise you will be reaping a harvest of opportunities for years to come.